History Addicts, welcome back to History Supply. I'm Rishi, and in this video we're going to be talking about a cheeky little treaty which no one talks about, which might have caused World War II. Before we dive right into how the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk might have caused World War II, let's look at the facts. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was a peace treaty between Soviet Russia and the Central Powers, Germany, the Ottoman Empire, and Austria-Hungary. This ended Russia's involvement in World War I. This was a treaty with only Russia and not Britain or France or any of the other allies. As the name suggests, this treaty was signed at Brest-Litovsk, which was then in German-controlled Poland, now called Brest in Belarus. Okay, Trotsky, Russia will lose half its European territory, 6 billion German gold marks in reparations, 1 million square miles of territory, a third of its population, 55 million people, majority of coal, oil and iron stores, and much of your industry. Wait. This is some kind of joke, right? Clearly, the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was a very, very harsh treaty. The harshness of the terms shocked even the German negotiator. So the obvious question is, why did the Russians agree to such a horrible treaty? I think you know why. The consolidation of power. There was a disastrous war effort going on, with the largest casualties of any country, a costly war effort that was wrecking the economy. Lenin opposed the war from the start as an imperialistic conflict. Anti-war demonstrations eventually led to the overthrow of the Tsar in March 1917 and appointment of the provisional government led by Alexander Kerensky. Hugely unpopular and weak, and opposed from both the right and left in Russia. There was a power struggle between the provisional government and the Petrograd Soviet. There was no legitimacy for the provisional government because elections were impossible during wartime. This was a very, very unpopular war. But the extremely patriotic foreign minister, Milyukov, provides assurances that Russia will keep fighting in the war. He was convinced that it was a just war to liberate people being oppressed by Austria-Hungary and the Ottomans. So the war continues under the provisional government. German authorities see an opportunity. So they allow Lenin to re-enter Russia from exile in Switzerland by traveling in a train across Germany and pretending that they don't see anything. They think that he will undermine the Russian war effort, and they are absolutely right. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was first announced. Trotsky called it out as too harsh. The fighting resumed, but Lenin and Trotsky soon realized that Russia could not continue. So Trotsky's plan was to delay Brest-Litovsk until revolution broke out across Europe. He pursued a policy where he would not sign the treaty, calling it neither war nor peace. Actually, revolution did somehow break out in Austria and in Berlin, but these were all very easily suppressed. So, what was the significance of the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk? Russia is out of the war. The Bolsheviks have ended this incredibly unpopular war and can focus on consolidating power. As a result, you have the start of the Russian Civil War. Since Russia is out of the war, the triple entente between Britain, France and Russia breaks down. And possibly the greatest victor of them all is Germany, who would have been crippled by the cost of occupation of all that massive land of Russia. Germany and the Central Powers can continue in their war effort. Of course, the greatest significance of the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was that it contributed to World War II. But before we look at that, let's go to history trivia. The treaty's languages were Bulgarian, German, Ottoman Turkish and Russian. There was even Hungarian, but nowhere can you find French or English, which were the dominant diplomatic languages of the time. Did the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk cause World War II? Basically, it provided an argument for the enormous severity of the Treaty of Versailles. Argue that the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, which Germany imposed on Russia, was way harsher than anything that the Treaty of Versailles, which the Allied powers imposed on Germany, included. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk could be taken as proof that this is what the Germans would have done to the Allied powers if Germany had won. So why couldn't the Allied powers do the same to Germany when they had won? This led to things like the November criminals and the stab in the back theory, which posited that Germany had been betrayed by weak-minded politicians. Then you had the rise of German nationalism and extremism, destabilization of the Weimar Republic, which was the democratic successor to Kaiser Wilhelm's Germany, the rise to power of Hitler and the Nazi Party, and the rest, of course, is history. History Addicts, the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me personally and it allows me to keep making videos like these. Thank you for watching and I'll catch you next time.